Are you a nurse and interested in transforming the healthcare system? Then here are 3 things you need to know right now. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name's Fola, and here on Deep Mind Squared, we talk all things bridging mental wellness and spirituality for nurses. I myself am a psychiatric nurse turned shamanic practitioner and Reiki master teacher, and really dived into this path of self-healing, wellness for myself so that I could then support others. And this is something I feel is missing in our healthcare system right now. If we look at the current state of the world with all this pandemic and crazy stuff that's happening, you can tell that there's even greater need right at this point for us to take care of ourselves and to do the things that we need to support ourselves, but also to support this healthcare system that I'm reading it over and over again in articles and having conversations with lots of different people who are still within that healthcare system. They're talking about how things are just crumbling. And this is really disheartening. I know for myself, having been there for so long, seeing people struggling with their own wellness, seeing the patients and clients coming in, their family members feeling really disheartened and pretty much just giving up, I would say, hope that anything is going to support them. Something needs to change. And my personal thoughts, I'm not sure if it really means that what has already existed is going to be the thing that helps us. I wonder if there's something new. But until then, what are some things that we can do as nurses to support the healthcare system, to support ourselves and each other? And so I'm going to share with you 3 things that I found the most helpful. The first one I would say is to take care of yourself. It always starts with me, with that self, that I individual, in terms of if you can't show up in the world because your energy is low, maybe you haven't been taking care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, then there's going to be a disconnect. How can you expect to support other people in filling up their glass if yours is empty? So really this encouragement for you to look after yourself. Maybe that means you start working out, eating well, doing those types of things, whatever it might be for you. And I think the more that we can focus on our personal wellness, then we have that sense of like energy and fulfillment within that has nowhere else to go but out. It has to like ripple into the universe, into the people that we're supporting, patients, our friends, family members, whoever. And as nurses, we're like that beautiful archetype of the caregiver, that person that shows up and is able to support others and really like thrives in that space. So in order to really acknowledge that thriving outside, we need to acknowledge it within ourselves. So whatever that might be for you, I would encourage you to take on a daily practice that I like to say it like focuses on that whole like medicine wheel, or focus on the whole perspective of who you be as a human being. And that's your physical, your mental, emotional, and spiritual levels. For me, it's like taking part in a daily routine of exercising in some way. Not saying you have to go and like work out all hardcore, but just do a little bit of like stretching and moving of your body and giving thanks for your body. For me, I also talk with a therapist. I sit with someone. I have groups of people that I'm involved in that I find helpful for my mental and emotional well-being. And I also spend time doing different practices such as meditation, mindfulness, all that good stuff. And that also, to me, bridges into the spiritual aspect. So whatever it looks like for you, there's different ways that you can incorporate the sense of well-being into your life. The other area that I feel would really be supportive for the healthcare system that all nurses can do at some point is to take up some form of energy healing. For myself, it's been the shamanism and the Reiki practices. And so I always encourage people to take on Reiki, because Reiki is this like all-encompassing sort of process that can really help hold space. And this isn't something that's like completely foreign to the world of nursing. There's something called Therapeutic Touch that was developed back in the 70s, I believe, and many different schools of nursing have implemented that. But I truly believe that if we really want to start to see a change in our healthcare system, Reiki or some form is like, you know, just like we learn, okay, how do we do an IV initiation and how do we like administer different medications and pull pills and all this stuff, like that to me is great. Let's also incorporate Reiki. to know that like our hands have the ability to support someone in their healing, not just with like the physical body, but also with their mental, emotional, and their spiritual aspects as well. Like, it's like a superpower. How cool is that? And the benefit also is that it helps us to heal ourselves, to really connect to who we are and to open up to our gifts. So I think it's a win-win. So obviously, if you aren't already involved with any form of like energy work or anything like that, maybe it's worth looking up, taking a class. If you're in the Edmonton area, this is some of the work that I do, and always interested to share more of that with the world. So reach out. And then finally, in order for us to really see this change in the healthcare system, nurses, we need to band together and support one another. No more of this division and bullying and whatever the fuck is going on with that. Like, if you are finding yourself on the receiving end or the giving end of that, let's have a conversation. We need to sit down and work together. Like, this cannot be happening. No wonder more and more staff are leaving the hospital settings, leaving the actual healthcare system. People are burnt out. Some people are on like their medical leaves and all of that. And like, this, in my opinion, is really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate that it's getting to this point. Again, we need to focus on ourselves, do the healing practices for ourselves, and then share that, and ultimately hold the space for other people, especially our colleagues. So if this is an area that you're struggling with, reach out. We have our Nurse to Nurse peer support group. There's something so powerful about peers merging together and holding space for one another that I feel will really support transforming the healthcare system. And this can be done within each unit or each area of work that we might find ourselves in. Just whatever. Please, just do something around this, because enough is enough. And things aren't going to get any better. Let's put it that way, if we don't start to be that change. So that's really all I wanted to talk about today. Appreciate you checking in with the video. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you're updated on future video releases. And also feel free to share and like this video with anyone you think might find it interesting or is working inside the healthcare system. Let's, band together. Let's support one another. We don't have to go through this alone. And I definitely feel like this is that time for the big change. So I'm excited to see what happens. And until the next video, I will talk with you all soon. Bye.